Welcome to the second screencast by the Modelwerkstatt. I am Berthold and I'm sitting here together with Daniel.
Hello, hello.
Daniel, what we have seen in our first screencast was a business application for reading customer data out of a database. Now what we want to add in this screencast is to be able to edit the data in this database table.
So I'll just simply add an input window and I'll name it customer input. Of course, it will bind to customer, that's the object you're editing. So use an integer input ID field to edit the ID of the customer. So we bind it with set key, bind it to the ID field of customer. Let's set a label. ID, better uppercase, and well, let's disable it by set enable false, so the user can't edit it because it's automatically assigned to the database. Then next we need a string input field called name field, bind it to the name of the customer with a label name. Control D, and let's name that last name field, the address field. I'll just bind it to the last name. So what we can see is perfect code completion by MPS. It's got last name, address. We do not need any functionality. Input window. Well, that's all. That's the input window.
So basically what's missing, we have now created the input view and we have our customer view, but we have to connect to both of them. So we need a button in our customer view which calls the input window view. We call it new, the new button, and then we set an icon for it and also a tooltip for it. And when we click this button, we want the input window to show, so we first have to instantiate the input window by calling getInstance, and then we call customer input load and show. But still, our input window so far only has the form for editing the customer, but it has no buttons. So let's define the buttons here. We need a cancel button, which basically when we click on it, it does nothing. This is already predefined. We need a save button, and the save button gets an item, our customer item, which is to be saved now, and we simply print it on the console, and what we also need is a new button.
Well, a new button has to return a customer, a new customer, predefined customer to edit. So simply, just new customer. Well, that's it. And generate the Java code. The whole Java code, inclusive SQL, is just generated with our DSL. Just run it, and
let's see what happens.
Demo section show customers view. Press new button. The ID is disabled. Dan address. And now Dan road. Save that one and just switch to the console. Oh, that's correct. Save this item customer. Dan. So what's missing is, I think we should save it to the database somehow. So we create a service. Services capable for transactions and save things, so I just introduce a new method, save customer, and transaction start, save, okay, new parameter, customer, the customer to save, and just save it there.
Again, what's very interesting is that we don't have to write any SQL code. Save new customer is sufficient, and the SQL code is created in the background. Now, of course, we also have to call this new service function. So first of all, we declare the service here as an additional local field, and then we are not just going to print it, but we also call the service.saveCustomer operation. We pass it the item, and then we also add the object to our custom view multi-line edit, which is the table.
Cool, just regenerate the application, generate the Java code, SQL, and XML files required for the libraries, run it, demo section, show customer, perfect, new, then load again, and then now I really have to save it to the database, so save new, so it's added.
It's already there in the table. Now we also have to check whether it is in the database by clicking the reload button. And yes, it is also in our database.
Well, thanks a lot for watching the second screencast on modelwerkstatt, and on the third screencast we're also gonna introduce wizards, and well, happy to see you online.
Thank you. Bye bye.